Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report on TV3. Brent Duncan's here to bring Sam and I up to date on all the news that's CHS way.
Busy week.
Is that week that people have been waiting for?
Well, I think a lot of people have been waiting for that.
I think they have, yes.
A lot of other things have gone on prior to that, but we're now down to just boys basketball left and middle school wrestling. So
That's about it.
currently, that's all we have. So I take that back. You have to give kudos to our gymnastics team because they placed third in the sectional this past Saturday.
I wanted to ask you about the gymnastics sectional that we hosted.
Yeah, our girls got third, so therefore they qualified to go to the regional next Friday night. Unfortunately, it's on Friday night and not Saturday afternoon like some of the other places. So
Columbus East?
not anymore. Found that out about a week ago.
They ran them out, did they, or something?
They changed their coach, so I don't know if that had a lot to do with help or whatever, but it's going to be at the gymnastics company in Indianapolis. That's the head coaches of Franklin Central Gym, kind of like Joan has her own gym, so it's actually affiliated with Franklin Central.
Okay,
So
it'll be a nice event.
I hope. Never been in their gym. It's supposed to be a newer facility, but it's not a high school gym, so I don't know what the seating looks like, but $8 will get you in, and it starts at 6 p.m., but
And what happens, who wins there?
top 3 teams will go to the state finals. Top 6 individuals on each event, and the top 6 all-around girls. So
The chances are Connersville pretty good?
we'd have to perform really, really well. So, but Richmond won our section with 110, New Pal had 102, and we had 99. So there'll be some stiff competition. So,
Right, close finishes.
So, well, in gymnastics, it's not real close.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Well, it sounded close to me.
Yeah,
How
it's
about you?
not.
Numerically, it
You
sounds.
have to figure that you're only going to make about a half a point a girl, give or take, if you're lucky. So when you get,
You know
down by-
gymnastics, don't you?
I know enough to know enough. So spent a lot of times in the gym. So, but no, if you get, a 4 or 5 point separation in gymnastics, that's a huge win. So
It's quite a sport, and it would be good if it would grow.
well, actually, the number of teams are now up over 80, which is growing. It's just a
That's
matter of
good, slowly.
continued growth, but not compared to what it probably used to be. But equipment costs are expensive, and a good gymnastic floor is about $20-some thousand, and good piece of equipment's 4 or 5. So there's a lot of money wrapped up into it.
And we've heard you discuss it before. It's year-round dedication to that sport.
Yeah, I think if you look at the Richmond girls who won, this is their 5th straight win at the sectional, and those 3 of they only have 4 girls, but 3 of them are seniors, so you wonder where they're going to go next year. But those 4 do it year-round all year. I think they do other things, but they also go into the gym probably just about every day, having lived that life with a 3-sport athlete and a gymnast. It's 3 high school sports, and then you go to gymnastics practice. And it's 3 high school sports, and then you go to gymnastics practice.
Got to be dedicated.
So it takes a lot of work.
It looks very difficult to me.
I don't want to do it. I've tried to do some of those things, and I stayed down as low as I could get. So, no, it's a lot of effort, and it's a lot of
Yes,
strength and conditioning, and your body changes so much over the course of time, and if you don't do it all year round, you lose that little bit of strength. You use those skill sets that you have, and then you kind of almost start over at ground zero again, and that's difficult to do. So if you don't do it consistently year round, it makes it tough.
I'm glad Connersville has a gymnastics team and have a good coach.
Yeah, Joanne's done a great job with them, and Heidi Davison helps them, and they love it. I told Joanne one of these days she'll probably die in her gym. She kind of lives in there, so she said you're probably right. So, but she's got a lot of passion about it.
Wish the girls the best of luck and hope they do well.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll all go up there on Friday night, and I'll say all their names. We had J.C. Allen and Ellie Lakes and Kiera McKinney and Madison Jordan those are the 4 that competed, and they all did all 4 events. And so I'm going to assume that's the 4 that's going to compete again. We got 6 others going to go with them or have the opportunity to go and watch, and hopefully they'll all go and cheer them on, and hopefully they'll do well.
Will there be a boys gymnastics team?
There used to be one a long, long time ago, but they don't have those anymore.
You being a former board member of the
I'll pass.
IHSAA, do you have any?
We'll pass. I'd have to pass on that one. So
You're not going to
I
tell
think
us
boys
any?
volleyball would come in before that would come in.
Do you?
Yeah. So
But then you'd have to even it up with
yeah,
another
you'd have to have
sport.
another girls sport. So I can
It's
see girls
difficult.
wrestling coming,
Yeah.
and lacrosse is getting big around the country. But You know, there's pockets of lacrosse here, but not enough pockets. So we'll see.
Do you hear anything out of the IHSAA as to maybe near future?
Yeah, I mean, you get press clippings all the time, and I get notes all the time, and I still got inside connections to the board, so they keep me privy.
I thought
to
you
what's
did.
going
We're
on.
going to put you back on the board as soon as
Well,
we
if the seat
can.
rolls up and I'm still working, then I'll put my name in. See if
hope
I can get
so.
elected.
You did a good job.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a lot of good experience, a lot of great people. It's not what everybody thinks it is once you get there, but it's like any job. You know what really happens until you're on the
Sure.
inside looking out. So,
Would have been nice if you were assistant commissioner.
well, I was in the final six, so
Were you?
it's been a great job to have. You know, I don't know where I finished in those final six, but at least I got an interview, and there's only 6 of us of everybody that applied and got an interview. So, it's a good experience, and I'd try again if one of the seats opened up. So.
The board members choose a commissioner?
I was interviewed by 5 fellow board members and Paul Neidig, the commissioner themselves. So there were 6 of them in the meeting.
So they go through quite a process.
Yeah, it was probably a good hour and 15 to an hour and a half meeting. So
So you missed the questions is the reason.
I could have answered them incorrectly. No, he called me and said I made it tough. I told him I obviously didn't make it tough enough.
Well, it's
Not
great
call me
though
with the great news. So
Yeah.
It's great to have you in the final 6 or whatever it was. I mean,
it was fun.
it was an honor. Yeah.
Yeah. And all 6 of us, I know at least 4 of them that were there, they're all good candidates. So.
Sure.
So can't be mad. You just do your best and you move forward and keep doing what you're
That's an
doing.
important job. I mean,
There's a lot that goes on that people don't know, just like any job. You don't know what the behind the
Yes.
scenes look like until you're there. So, but
the
I do it again.
IHSAA gets a little static now and then, but I don't think it's deserved. I think
I think you're ecstatic when things don't go the way people think they ought to go. And
yes.
if you realize how many fewer transfers there are and all the headaches, 98% or better, the kids actually get their full transfers. And just a small percent don't get eligibility at all. So
It's that
just takes
vocal minority.
the vocal group and complaints to the news media to the right spots sometimes take the limelight.
Like everything, it's a tough job to keep everybody happy.
That's not possible.
Okay.
You just gotta learn to live with that. As I was told, you do decisions and you make the best choice you can, then you just keep going forward.
Yeah, do the best you can.
Have
That's-
thick skin at times.
Just be like a duck and let it roll off your back and
There you
flip
go.
your tail feathers and move on. So,
There's an event coming up shortly.
yeah, boys sectional starts tomorrow night with Lawrenceburg and Rushville coming to the Spartan Bowl at 7 o'clock. And be a start of a good 4-night week. So, busy, but
Everything's ready to go. You've lined up the officials, or the IHSA has lined up
they've
the
sent me
officials.
who's coming, so I know who they are. And
Familiar faces.
I know 3 of the 6. So, I can't say I've seen the other ones, but I've seen at
That's
least
good.
3 of them. So, but
Well, hopefully we'll have, the weather's going to be okay.
yeah, it's good and bad because then it gets hot in the bowl when it gets packed. But that's a good problem to have. But
Yes.
it's just kind of unusual for this time of year because typically, well, Thursday night's supposed to get cold, but then it's going to get right back up to warm again. So
Yeah, you got those big exhaust fans in the ends.
typically we're looking at snow and cold weather and blustery stuff. So it can change overnight. It is Indiana.
This is Indiana,
So-
that's true.
But
Yeah, we've
no,
been
we're-
known for,
We're excited. Got some few things to finish up tonight and get finalized, and we'll be ready to roll by the time 7 o'clock rolls around tomorrow night. So.
should be a very interesting tournament.
Well, I think this is as open as it has been for since we've been in this grouping. I mean, I think there's 5 teams who think they have a legitimate shot.
I know,
So-
Sam, you point out the records of some of the teams. And
And I'm sure all 7 think that, but when you
Sure.
look on paper, I
Well,
think
we want them to
5 will
think that.
definitely-
5 of the 7 are well above 500.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping our 6 losses are better than any of their wins. So
let's go through the lines. You mentioned that Lawrenceburg and Rushville on Tuesday. Wednesday will be,
Wednesday at 6 is Greensburg taking on the Spartans at 6 o'clock, and then the game after that will be Franklin County and Batesville.
South Dearborn drew the bye, so they'll be playing on Friday night, first game against the winner of Tuesday,
Correct. The winner of Lawrenceburg and
Rushville.
So, and the winners on Wednesday will play the second game, and then we'll bring the winners back Friday on Saturday at 7:30. So, Wednesday and Friday's games start at 6, and Tuesdays at 7, and Saturdays at 7:30.
That's the way it works. And
Try to open the doors at least an hour in advance. If I think it's a little more crowded than I want, we might open them up a little bit earlier if all my workers are in place. So
will there be some tickets available for people?
currently there should be.
Okay,
I can't say
that's
what
good
might happen
news.
as the event starts taking place and people start buying more all-session tickets. We're pushing 2,000 tickets out already, so starting to knock on that door now, which is the most we've ever had in the last couple of years that we've hosted it 2 times. So
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
I mean it's great atmosphere. So lots of media interest and
Several years ago, used to be you couldn't bring bands, but schools can bring a band now. Am I correct?
yeah, if they choose.
If they choose. So how many bands do we have?
I know of 2 that are coming.
Okay.
So the Lions are bringing theirs and the Wildcats are bringing theirs. So
Okay.
that's all I know of as now. So
The Spartan band going to be there?
Spartan Band will not be there.
Is there a reason?
Didn't ask. I mean, I asked if they were coming, and I didn't ask why they weren't.
I see. Okay, well, that's good. That's a good policy to follow.
Maybe, I don't know, it's just at the end of a long season. I don't know, maybe that's just what it is. I don't know.
Well, they do such a good job.
They do. Levi's
they
done
do
a great
terrific.
job
Yes.
with the band. It's
They add a
continued
lot to the
grow,
ball
and
game.
And they're
they stay around and play after the game and give us a good atmosphere.
they're there for boys and girls typically.
That's
Unless they
rare.
have competition.
That's rare. if you
Rare
go
when
around
we
the
go
state.
girls basketball. That's very rare to have band at girls
Yes.
basketball.
So,
But very important.
yeah,
Oh, I think so.
creates
Adds a lot to the game.
Well, I
Creates
would
an atmosphere.
encourage them to rethink this.
They're more than welcome. They can bring 40 members. So, but we've taken out all the platforms. They just have to sit in the stands instead of where they normally sit. But trying to make more seating space. So,
Perhaps next year.
well, I hope.
We'll wait till next year and see what happens.
Maybe they'll change their mind if we get there to Wednesday. Maybe come on Friday. I don't know. Not said that yet.
The winner here Saturday night, what happens?
Cut down the net, celebrate for a little while.
I mean, where do they go?
Well, traveling to Washington, Indiana after they win. So, taking on the winner of the Boonville sectional,
Moonville.
which probably will be either Evansville, Bossy, or Heritage Hills if I had to just pick my top 2. So,
If you look at Sagarin ratings, that's if you have any faith in those at all, that's what it shows.
But you can't play the game on paper. They got to run down the floor and put their bodies in motion. And some days you have good days, and some days you have bad. You just don't hope you don't have a bad day on a good day. So,
Spartans have had a great season though. 6 losses, but those losses were, if there's such thing as good losses, they lost to some good teams. Let me say that.
yeah, and then of course some of them's got us. We had a shot to beat Mount Vernon at the buzzer. It just happened to bounce off the rim. Got beat by Lawrence North at the buzzer after we'd taken the lead after being down by 13 or so points, and then got beat by Newcastle without 2 of our players. And of course, we're down the stretch. We've played out with a couple, something with injuries or whatever. And
Monroe Central finished the season undefeated, and
number 1 in 2A, the last I looked. So I think the last time I checked our 6 losses, this was prior to the last weekend, had 100 wins and only 23 losses. I think I said that last Monday. But, you want to play the competition that gets you ready for the tournament trail. So hopefully we've played a little tougher schedule, and hopefully our kids have grown and learned and have excelled against some tougher teams, and hopefully we can carry that over through the sectional. So we got, I think between us, there's a rough road to hoe. All the teams were kind of spread out, and we kind of got the bye in the middle and the draw in the middle that takes the roughest road. So, but you got to beat them at some point in time.
But I look at it like this: Spartans have had a week to prepare for their opponents, where you got to probably going to have to face Greensburg sometime. So,
Well, you like to think that that's the other team that's only lost, I think, 4 games throughout the season. And of course, we're one of those. And sometimes it's better to draw the best one out of the chute. So it'd be nice to have a full complement of kids, but we got some that are a little tweaked, and one's out for a while until we come back. And don't want to say any names in case people are watching. I don't need them scouting me on the
right.
on the TV. So.
I know who you're talking about.
But it'd be nice to have all of our weapons as 100% healthy as we could have, and we'll take who we have into battle, and we're going to fight to the end. So that's all. So.
Coach will have them ready. We know.
Yeah, I always tell them we may not have the best weapons taken to the war, but I'm not worried about the weapons we're taking to the war. So, but as a collective group, we play well together. So
Well, I think everyone knows that Connersville has the toughest schedule of the games that are in the sectional. I mean, they really venture into Indianapolis and play some of those times. And,
well, when you're on the borderline of 3A and 4A all the time, you got to keep those schools and you got to plan because at any given time we could be headed back that direction, and then all of a sudden you got to revamp your schedule, or you don't have the right strength of schedule to get yourself prepared. So, and Mount Vernon's gotten better in the last couple of years, and and Newcastle's kind of kicked back up again, and Florence North is always good.
yes,
So,
yes.
that's for us. The last year we were playing them for a while, so. North Davies is coming next year for that 1 year, and then we're looking for an opponent a couple years out for that date. So.
Where are they from?
Oh, about 20 minutes from Washington, Indiana.
Long way away.
Their head coach is from Rushville, and he's got a group of juniors very similar to our group, and he'd like for them to play in the bowl. So I said, well, hey, we got it Saturday. He goes, that works. So
Are they replacing?
Lawrence North for 1 year.
Okay.
But I told him we weren't making the reciprocal trip, and he says, that's okay, I don't want you to.
So Lawrence North always played on a Saturday.
Yeah, they play the Saturday afternoon of the girls' sectional.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that will be where North Davies plays.
yep, and then we'll see if we can find somebody that wants to play on that day. If not, we'll have to look at something else. So.
Are they in a conference?
I'm sure they are, but I can't tell you what.
Okay.
With Bar Reeve and Lagodi and all those guys down in there.
Pretty
so. Competitive.
very competitive small school
Really?
area. Yeah, and,
Orleans is probably pretty close. Orleans may be a little too far, but Lagodi, I think Lagodi's in there with them. They may not be, but Bar Reeve's been in the state finals for girls volleyball and basketball in the last couple of years. So. And they always had a good boys basketball team, and then so.
We have a little bit of, excuse me.
No, I was just going to say, they had the girls'
introduce-
state finals over the weekend.
I didn't even look to see who won.
Silver Creek was runner-up. Last
Let's
year they
see.
were state finals. You've got those?
I've got it somewhere here.
Well, I jumped ahead on you then. I'm sorry.
I've written it down. Oh, Tecumseh won Class A, and they defeated Lafayette Central Catholic. In 2A, it was Forest Park over Frankton. In 3A, it was South Bend, Washington over Silver Creek. And number 4 in Class 4A was Noblesville over Franklin Community.
By a lot.
The lot game was in the Class 3 South Bend, Washington beat Silver Creek
That's right.
93 to 35.
That was the one, because
Yeah,
there was a lot
I
of controversy over that they still had starters in late in the game, way late in the game.
Yeah, but they really
Yeah.
stomped on Silver Creek. I
There's
mean,
no,
and
there's
there was
no
no-
mercy rule in the state final.
Yeah, which
no mercy rule, huh? They didn't
No.
stop the clock or anything.
it
No,
does,
it's
which
normal-
doesn't make
normal
sense to me.
clock
I don't
time.
like that mercy rule anyway, but if it's good enough during the regular season, why isn't it good enough in the state finals?
Yeah, it doesn't
Probably
make
has
sense.
something to
why
do with
they-
TV and all that stuff.
Maybe.
Timing and commercials.
Well, I can tell you that timing and commercials for radio is not easy when we have a running clock as well.
No, because you got to squeeze them in.
You
Really
got to
quick.
squeeze them in, yeah.
So let's hope we don't have to get there ever again.
Right.
So
Did we have any running clocks at Connersville this year?
Girls,
girls did, but
and
the
we had
boys
in
did.
football.
Okay. Yes, I remember football.
Got close against Homestead. Late in the game, but
We've been spending some time talking about the sectional, so let's look at a video here on TV3 about sectional basketball. Okay, thanks Nathan Scholl, an intern here at TV3, doing that for us.
He does a wonderful job with those.
He, getting everybody excited and ready to go.
I always can count on him to send me pictures if I need one.
Okay.
So Nathan does a good job. So
Yeah,
Right.
and, you know, he did a lot of this. He was on swim team when in season, same time as basketball. So he found time to do both, and fine young man.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch him progress and everything. It's been,
You've worked with him behind the mic, and
right. It's been fun. Yeah, yeah. We wish him the best of luck as he continues in his education, and he has hopes of going into TV. I don't know where. I don't know where he gets that, but he has an idea of going to TV. So.
well, you and I, we kind of lucked into TV here because we had face for radio, but
I know. Yeah, that's we have to give you equal time. I know it's important that we do that.
yeah.
Right. I understand Curry Brown got some kind of an award, Coaches Association.
yeah,
Award?
District Coach of the Year for the Hoosier Basketball Coaches Association. So good honor for Kerry.
Yes, it is. Has he received that before?
That I can't answer, but I would say he's
Yeah,
probably been
I
at
would
least
think
up
so.
in the running. if
I'm
not
sure he's in the
already
running
done it,
every
so-
year. Yes, yes.
So, but yeah, good honor for him.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, well deserved.
Very much.
Right.
We're blessed with a good coach, and he's put together a good staff.
Absolutely.
And he relies on them a lot.
And the program that he's developed, his
Yes.
youngsters down in the elementary and early grades, I mean, he gets a hold of them and knows his kids by name and
Yeah.
Well, that's a
follows their
plus.
career.
You know, Michelle started her dirt road league this year, so we've got teams coming in on Sunday for the girls, and then Stephanie Smith started volleyball legacy league for the little kids last spring, and she's going to continue that coming this May. So that's a good start for her. You know, and Kelly and Glenn have the Bay County Running Club going with the kids running track, and so.
it's so
Hopefully
important to
we'll-
begin early.
Well, I think you got to get them interested, and I think the biggest key is just to keep it fun for them at that level, so they don't get. I think sometimes we pick teams too early, and then the kids who may be on that bubble just say, "Well, I'm not going to play in front of those," so they don't quit coming. They stop.
Sure.
And then our numbers are small because we don't have a big number to pick from. So it's always good to keep the kids interested at a young age and get them involved in as many things you can. I think sometimes I don't know if it's the kids choose or the parents choose, but it seems like we get kids that just want to specialize in one sport and. As our school is shrinking in enrollment numbers,
Sure.
we need them playing multiple sports. Maybe not 3, but you know, it'd be nice if all of them would play at least 2. So make all of our teams better.
And we've seen kids over the years that developed late and grew late and became pretty good basketball players or in other sports as well.
Well, I think sometimes at the younger level, it's always the bigger, stronger, faster kid that gets everything, and then that bigger, stronger, faster kid may be the shortest, fastest kid by the time he gets to be a high school kid, and the other kids are now not playing because they never got the opportunity to play because you never know when they're going to grow. And you know, I've known girls who are the shortest in 7th grade and then some of the tallest by the time they get to be a senior or junior in high school, and they've lost interest because they didn't get the opportunities at the lower levels to have an opportunity to play. So it's always important for our coaches, and whether it's high school, you know, rec league or whatever, that every kid is there that has desire to play. You just don't know when they're going to develop completely. And some of them are a little more advanced now, but that doesn't mean they're going to be ahead of those kids 6 years from now. So, and sometimes that's hard, especially when you have a lot of our teams are coached by parents, and they coach because their kids are on the team. And so, not saying it's good or bad. It's just, you know, don't have a lot of
It's the
training.
nature of it.
So,
Where are you going to?
yeah, and if you don't have teams. So you have to. It's a double-edged sword, but you got to get everybody in and try to play them as much as you can, so they keep their interest up.
And they have to remember, I think sometimes parents during that time think that they've got a Division I athlete coming. Well, maybe,
Hey, you never know. 'cause
maybe, but
they're 8 or 9. You don't
probably, maybe not. But
know. More likely than not, because you know, like we've talked before, only 3% of the high school kids even play college sport. 97% of them are going to be done in 4 years.
And if you're not playing Division I, if you're playing NAIA or junior college or something, you're still playing, and
Correct.
and you're pretty good if you have that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I think 1% of the high school athletes get an opportunity to play Division I. You know, because you think of all the kids that come out every year around the state, and not just around the country, but around the world.
Around the
anymore,
world,
so-
because they bring them in from foreign countries.
If you're good, they'll find you. So, but that's a rare thing. Think of all the Division I basketball players or football players or baseball players we've had. We have one that's got an opportunity to play baseball at the next level. I don't know where he's going to play it. He's verbally committed to Evansville, but hasn't signed the papers yet. So it may change between now. But right now he's comfortable going to play baseball after not even this year, next year, because he's only a junior this year. So.
And you look at this year's basketball team and last year's basketball team. We've got Toby Billups that's signed to play at IU East, but there's just not a lot of kids that have that opportunity. And when one gets one, we need to celebrate that.
No, we got Dustin McCarroll's going to run track, and Braden Jones going to do track, and Abby Bedore's going to go play golf, and so they may not be at a big school, but somebody's willing to get you in and give you the opportunity to play at the next level. And I'm sure I've missed somebody, just rattling names off my head, but those are just some that people don't see. Everybody thinks of the big Division I, but there's a lot more kids playing Division II, Division III, and NAIA than there are in Division I. So
and getting a good education.
Oh, absolutely.
In the meantime,
typically good athletics, because I always think the big schools recruit that but one kid, but everybody else might get the second best kid that just cares about winning and doesn't care about their stats, and they play hard, and you get 5 or 6 of those together, you got a good team. So. But it's opportunities there, and you're interested. The coaches will all help you find that place if you want to get there. Erica Smith's going to go play volleyball. Last I knew at Wright State, so.
That's a D1.
So you have those kids that come through, so we'll see.
This week's sports schedule, Monday, middle school wrestling home with Newcastle, middle school girls basketball at Cambridge City on Tuesday, middle school girls basketball at Union County. On Wednesday, middle school wrestling at Northeastern, middle school girls basketball at Batesville. Kind of a slim schedule because of the sectional beginning. And those sports are about to wind down at middle school too, aren't they?
Yeah, next week's it for the middle school. Both girls basketball and wrestling will be done after next week. And then
Yes.
have a little break, get ready for a spring break for most of them, and gear up for their track and the co-ed golf and softball and baseball. So
Okay, so those are the sports in spring.
that's for the middle school. Of course, the high school.
Oh,
we
okay,
all-
the high school ones,
Yeah, they're similar.
baseball.
We do girls
softball.
tennis in the spring, and they do all the tennis in the fall. So we'll have girls tennis to ours, and baseball, softball, and co-ed track,
And golf
boys
is
golf.
Golf,
and
boys
in the middle
golf.
school it's co-ed golf in the spring. So
Okay, so right around the corner.
I think everybody fires up March 14th, track's already in season, going to go travel down to IU or East Central this Saturday for their first indoor meet. So
We have to thank the parents whose youngsters in sports, because it is a sacrifice for them.
I think that helps make our kids well-rounded, and obviously the parents are invested just as much as the kids, because it's a commitment, especially when they're younger and they can't drive. I always know my mom and dad were happy when I got my driver's license, so I could tote my 2 sisters around with me to practice and not them. So, but it is a family thing for the most part, most of the time.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of dedication from the parents to support the kids and see if they get to practice and so on. So,
Yep. It's a good experience. If their kids haven't done it, we'd always encourage to come out. It doesn't have to be sports. It can be band, choir, play, speech. Go down
and you guys honor the parents too at times. I mean,
Senior night.
sure,
So we'll get them out there so they know who they were. And
youngsters come out with their parents. Very nice, yeah. So it's...
Had a great crowd for senior night. Over the
we
winter.
did. For a Tuesday night game, it was a good crowd. So take that all the time. So
Yeah.
Sectional tickets are available at the door beginning Tuesday.
there should be some there. Single sessions are $6, and if you still want to buy the all session ticket, it's still $10. So good deal for $10. You want to come all 4 nights, $250 a night. So
We
or
wish,
you can pay 24 a night. I don't 24 total or 10 total. I'm good either way.
wish all the athletes good luck, but especially the Spartans.
Exactly, and hopefully our girls will do well this coming Friday at
Yes.
regional at Franklin Central, and hopefully we can sneak at least 1 or 2 into the state meet the following week at Ball State. So
Thanks, Brent, as always, for joining us here on the Sports Report.
appreciate you having me.
Good night, everybody.